Hello everyone. Let's discuss about event handlers in JavaScript. How how events are handled using JavaScript code. That is what we should discuss now. Okay. Basically, first of all, let's know the basic definitions for events, event sources, event listeners, and then we'll continue with our basic discussion. Okay. First of all, if you consider an event alone, event is said to be a change in state of an object. For example, you have an object, you're trying to provide certain conditions, you wanted certain change in that object. Then that process of changing the state is said to be an event. Okay, so event, when you say event handling, this will consist of these three main components. Those are events, event sources, and event listeners. Okay, so event is what is which is used to find the change in state of an object is said to be an event. If it is event source is an object that is used to generate an event. For example, I'm trying to click a button. Okay, so here I'll be using mouse to click a button. That is said to be an event source. If it is event listener, even this listener is also an object that listens to the event. So as soon as a listener gets notified when an event occurs, then it will perform according to the action provided there, according to the event used there. This is what is called as, these are what are all the main components involved in event handling. Okay, so events, when you consider with respect to document object model, these are in level 3 because here event handlers are much more advanced version when we are compared with events alone. So when you are discussing with event handlers there, these event handlers will come under document object models level 3. So what are all contained in level 3? In level 3, you will be consisting of an advanced versions of events, right? So events are a part of document object model under level 3, right? And every HTML element contains this set of all events which can trigger this JavaScript code. Okay, so we will be looking across this particular JavaScript code, and according to the event handlers here, we'll be discussing about onClick and onSubmit. Okay, so let's see what is this the basic definition of an event called onClick, and let's go further. Okay, so this on-click event, this is the most frequently used event which occurs when a user clicks the left mouse button. Left mouse button, that is, which we generally do every day. When you try to click upon a mouse button, you'll be click for the leftmost button of the mouse, that is said to be so when you are performing that thing, see, if you try to refresh the system, you'll be using right click, you'll go for right click of your mouse, but here you're using left mouse. That means in order to select whatever it is, you'll be using the left button of your mouse. So on click event will be generated when there is left when there is a click on the leftmost button of the mouse. Okay, and for this on click event, you can put your validations, warnings, etc. against this particular event type. So let's simply go through a normal code here in JavaScript. How is it written? As you know, JavaScript code will be embedded within HTML. This is script type, text, JavaScript. This is the basic thing. You are using certain function, and this function is saying is having an alert message which will consist of hello world. Okay, now coming to the body of this particular code, you are this entire thing which is written in JavaScript is much easier. So in the body, what are you trying to write? You are trying to determine the on click button. So you're telling something to do. For that, your input type you are using is button, and the function which you use here is on click, and you are saying it to say hello. So what is there in say hello? This particular message will be displayed, whose value is simply say hello. So what will be the output here? When you look at the output, it will say click the following button and see the result. This is what it is saying: click the following button and see result. Okay, this is which is embedded in P, which is nothing but paragraph. So click the following button and see result. And coming to the input type, which is button. So when there is button, you'll generally go for clicking it. When you click on it, some certain function is being performed, certain action is being performed. It is nothing but called as an event. Okay, so when you are clicking on the button, in order to perform that particular click, you'll say or you'll use something called as on click. By using this, you can understand that you're trying to click the button. And when you on click, what should happen? Say hello function should be executed. What is say hello function? Say hello function consists of this particular message: alert hello world. Okay, so as soon as you click on the mouse, because it is a button, you'll have say hello. Okay, and the value which generated is say hello. Here it can be anything else. It's not only sure that it should be the function name. It can be hooray I achieved, something like that. No issues. Okay, so this is what happens using click button. So what is happening? Click the following button and see result. In that you are saying say hello. Now when you click, this is actually a button. So when you click this particular button, you'll be able to see message called this alert message hello world. When you click on this button, you'll get an output message called as hello world. Is this clear? Similar to on click event type, there is one more event type called as on submit. This is also an event which occurs when you try to submit a particular form. That this name itself determines that we are submitting something. We are submitting something. Okay, here we are submitting the form. So what should happen generally? If you think, when you are filling up certain application form, when you fill it up and when you just use the submit button, what happens? It should go to the next page saying thank you, or it should go to the next page which will determine the next continuation, yes or no. That means when that is performed, it means that the submit button over there has performed certain event, has performed certain event. That is what we should know. That is what we should understand. So by using this type of on submit button, on submit button, we are able to submit a form. So this is a particular code, same written in JavaScript. By using this, you can understand that this is written in JavaScript. Okay, so we are writing something in a some particular function. All validation goes here, returns either true or false. So when you say validate, by using that validate function before submitting the form from data to the web server, this will return true. That means the form is submitted. If this particular validate function returns false, that means the form is not submitted. Is this clear? So what is the method we are using? Because it has to perform certain things after submission, so I'm using post method. Post action to some other file. Okay, when I say on submit, it should return to validate. It should return to validate function, validate, and input type submit value. The name of that particular box wherein we are trying to click is nothing but submit. By using that, you can, and this is validate function, validate. Okay, so this is what happens on submit button. On click button is used to click on the button. On submit button is used to submit the form, and this is used to give true or false values for a particular form. Here see, if you see action, there is some name of the form. Here this particular code will work only till whether this form is submitted or not, such that we'll be going into the next page. If suppose, or we'll be getting certain something like an SMS or email saying that your form is submitted. Suppose if that particular form, that is t.cgi, is not submitted, then you are going to get false. You are going to get false value. Is this clear? So if it is submitted, it will give you true. If it is not submitted, it will give you false. That is what is with respect to on submit. If it is on click, you'll be clicking on the button. It will perform its action. Its action, whichever action it is there. If that particular program is success, you'll be getting some message. You'll be getting some message. What is the intended message you write in the code, that will be obtained. Whereas for on submit, this is for knowing whether the form is submitted or not once you click on the submit button. Is this clear? So if at all, if your form is not submitted, then it will return you false. Only that thing. Only that thing. Whether the next form has come or not, I mean, its linking form has come or not, whether the details in this particular form are true or not, is not going to be checked by this particular event type called as on submit. Is this clear? So this is what happens. These are the two functions used on click and on submit when worked with the JavaScript. Of course, there are many more, lots and lots of functions. On mouse on mouse up, on mouse over, on mouse moves. That what happens there is you'll specify some text area. If you're trying to move the mouse button, if it is able to show something, it will show that depending upon the message you give there, it will show yes, your mouse is moving, your mouse is over me, something like that. Okay, so there are many other event types besides these things, and all of them can be written in JavaScript code. It is not that only these two are important. Many other things are there. All of them are also important. Hope you all understood today's class. Okay, thank you.